Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Coming up, we're looking at how the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited is utilizing former bauxite lands for productive agricultural purposes and how you can benefit. There's more to discover. Do stay with us and keep watching.
One thing we need to remember is that there are many persons out there in our family, community, wider society who may be having challenges, and that these persons sometimes need to be heard, sometimes need to be helped, sometimes need to be hugged, right? And the best we can do to promote mental wellness in our community is just to be there for people, to be able to hear them, to be able to hug them, to be able to help them, you know? And let's all be our brother's keeper and make this place a better place and a place that is conducive to good mental health and mental wellness.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 18, 2025. Over 1,000 residents in the community of Runit, St. Elizabeth, are now benefiting from reliable water supply following the commissioning of the Middle Quarters Pipeline project on Friday. The $24 million investment is the final of 3 phases. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says while further works are being done in the parish to boost water supply to other areas, infrastructure had to be put in place for Runit in the Breadbasket parish.
It would have been an unfair thing to move water from this community to send it to another community without providing this community with access to their precious commodity. So I'm very pleased to be able now to say that the people of Runit will have their own water supply.
Significant progress is also being made to improve water access for the whole of St. Elizabeth and Manchester. The Prime Minister toured the Peppers to Gutters transmission pipeline and the Gutters pumping station, where 5 new pumps are being installed to boost water flow. Dr. Holness explains that the water will be pumped over Spurtree Hill and into Mandeville, ensuring a more reliable supply for over 100,000 residents. This is being done under the $4 billion Greater Mandeville Water Supply Project.
The investment in water is considered to be a kind of long-term investment. When we lay these pipes, we sink these wells, we put in the pumps, this will last us for another 50 years. With proper maintenance, it could go up to 70 years. But you consider this investment to be a kind of 100-year investment. The infrastructure is laid, it's solid infrastructure, and we continue to build on it and expand it.
Still in St. Elizabeth, 3 families from the northeastern section of the parish have received brand new homes, courtesy of the new social housing program. They are Esther McKenzie and Marie Loney, both fire victims, and Tracy and Brooks, who had been enduring difficult living conditions. All now have the pride of home ownership. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who handed over the units, emphasized the importance and benefit of the project for the most vulnerable in the society.
All over Jamaica, the new social housing program is making a difference in the lives of Jamaicans who previously would have no hope of any improvement in their circumstances. But the new social housing program is making a significant difference. And almost every week, on a Friday, we are in some part of Jamaica handing over a house.
The new Minister with responsibility for efficiency, innovation and digital transformation, Audrey Marks, says she is committed to carrying out her duties in service to the people of the country. At her swearing-in ceremony on Monday, Minister Marks said digital transformation was not just a policy priority for the government, but a necessity for national progress. She asserted that technology, when effectively deployed, could be a game changer in delivering efficiency, transparency, and economic growth.
My mandate is clear: to identify and eliminate inefficiencies, modernize regulatory frameworks, and ensure that Jamaica becomes a place where doing business is seamless, timely, and competitive on the global stage. We'll take a hands-on approach to problem solving, engaging stakeholders across sectors to drive meaningful reforms that work for people and businesses alike.
Minister Marks says she is also prepared to engage two stakeholder groups, one being entrepreneurs to foster innovation and encourage entrepreneurship, as well as positioning small businesses as the bedrock of Jamaica's growth spurt.
Second, I'm equally delighted that with this mandate, we can even more effectively respond to our Jamaicans abroad. They are an invaluable asset. Their expertise, knowledge, and investment potential must be fully harnessed.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is taking strategic steps to encourage and build out an internationally competitive craft sector. The inaugural Craft and Coffee 2025 event was held recently to showcase creative works of Jamaican artisans that can tap into the global handicraft market that's estimated at over $906 billion US.
We know that with the right investment in product development, marketing and innovation, the craft sector has the potential to drive employment, increase exports, and profits.
The event was in response to the need to identify innovative approaches tailored to the needs of the craft industry and aligned with the ministry's strategic objective. This is to encourage and build an internationally competitive sector.
Our national craft policy, tabled in Parliament in 2019, focuses on innovation, improved production, packaging, and stronger distribution channels to enhance Jamaica's global brand. We have launched the Artisan Empowerment Hub, a pilot export gateway providing craft producers like you with design innovation and product development. We are also developing an online directory of export-ready artisans.
And finally, 31 workers are now better equipped to provide care for individuals in infirmaries and golden age homes who are diagnosed with mental disorders. The individuals are graduates of the Psychiatric Nurses Aids Training Program. The ceremony was held on Friday. It was facilitated by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development in partnership with the Mental Health Unit and Substance Abuse Program of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This initiative is aligned with the strategic objectives of both ministries to strengthen the skills of workers in social agencies that support individuals facing mental health challenges such as infirmaries and golden age homes. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, says there must be a different approach in how persons are treated when they are in the care of the state.
You must be commended for coming forward. And the government will spare no expense in ensuring that we equip you, give you the tools. We must never lose sight, ladies and gentlemen, that the persons who we are going to be offering the services to didn't call it down on themselves. And there has to be, and I'm saying this to the graduates, in executing the responsibilities that you have, the enormous task is that personal level of compassion that is required.
The program commenced in September and ran for a total of 4 months and 1 week, including both theoretical and practical aspects of mental health care. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Later this week, on Thursday, the Prime Minister will make his contribution to the budget debate for the fiscal year that begins on April 1. As we await that, let's see what transpired at the office of the Prime Minister during the past week to advance Jamaica's development. Jamaica House Weekly is next.
Honoring the healthcare heroes of COVID-19, getting water to more communities, lending support to a historic budget debate, and delivering hope through home ownership. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Welcome.
We gather in solemn remembrance and profound gratitude of the healthcare workers who stood on the front lines during one of the most challenging periods in our nation's recent history.
That period was the COVID-19 pandemic, which spanned 2 years, 2020 to 2022. Jamaica's first confirmed case was on March 10, 2020, and on the 5th anniversary last week, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness unveiled a monument in recognition of all healthcare workers. It also listed the names of those who died in the line of duty as they served and sacrificed during the pandemic.
They put their duty above their fears, their patients above their own well-being, and in doing so, they saved countless lives. We honor those who did not return home to their families. We must always remember that these are names of mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, friends and colleagues. They were Jamaicans who gave everything to protect their community. As a nation, we owe them more than a monument. We owe them a commitment to never take for granted the sacrifices by those who serve.
Reflecting on the handling of the pandemic by his administration, Dr. Holness had this to say.
There was no panic, but like everything else that it is unknown and uncertain, you had a kind of foreboding sense. But the administration steeled itself. We were prepared and we were able to mobilize and address the challenge in a very creditable way in almost all aspects of the management of the pandemic.
The Prime Minister says Jamaica is now better prepared for future shocks following the COVID-19 pandemic. He asserts that the pandemic exposed vulnerabilities that the government has since worked tirelessly to address through necessary economic reforms.
Because of the difficult but necessary economic reforms we have undertaken, Jamaica is now better prepared for future shocks, whether it is another pandemic, a natural disaster, or a global economic downturn. Today, our healthcare sector is stronger. It is stronger in terms of the infrastructure. It is stronger in terms of the number of professionals that we have.
Last Tuesday is etched in history with the country's first female Minister of Finance, Favour Williams, having delivered the opening of the budget debate. Her presentation delivered on several commitments by the government, and Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness was there giving his support. On Friday, Prime Minister Holness journeyed to St. Elizabeth, where he commissioned Phase 3 of the Middle Quarters Pipeline Project. The $24 million investment is benefiting over 1,000 residents in the community of Runit.
I'm very pleased to be able now to say that the people of Runit will have their own water supply.
It was also revealed that major progress was being made to improve water access for the whole of St. Elizabeth and Manchester. 5 new pumps are being installed to push water through a 24-inch pipeline to the Gutters pumping station. This will ensure a stronger and more reliable water supply for over 100,000 residents and is being done under the $4 billion Greater Mandeville Water Supply Project.
when we lay these pipes, we sink these wells, we put in the pumps, this will last us for another 50 years. With proper maintenance, it could go up to 70 years. But you consider this investment to be a kind of 100-year investment. So we are putting in place the capacity to support the growing urban center in Mandeville.
While in St. Elizabeth, Dr. Holness also gave the keys to new beginnings to 3 families. The homes were delivered under the new social housing program.
What we do as a government is to employ a very robust system to ensure that the people who need it are the people who get it.
And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness extends condolences to the family, friends and supporters of Calvin George Scott, affectionately known as Cockatee. Dr. Holness says his smooth vocals and compelling lyrics gave us timeless classics like Rocking Dolly and I Lost My Sonia, songs that have become anthems on our cultural landscape. Beyond his musical genius, Dr. Holness says Cockatee was a beacon of kindness and generosity, consistently uplifting the less fortunate and embodying the warmth of our nation. Prime Minister Holness went on to say that Cockatee's influence extends beyond our shores, touching hearts worldwide and solidifying Jamaica's place on the global musical stage. He's encouraging fans as they mourn his passing to celebrate the rich legacy he left behind, a legacy of melody, compassion, and cultural pride. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Healing begins within. Take a moment for yourself. Healing is a journey. Start yours today.
Thank you for staying with us on Jamaica Magazine. At the top of the show, we mentioned how the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited is assisting the agricultural sector. Now, it's time to see how exactly farmers can benefit from this initiative.
The mining community is here to support agriculture, and as much as is possible, we do want all who are interested in getting reclaimed lands, accessing repurposed bauxite assets, including lease spaces in our warehouses, to just reach out to us.
The Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited, JBM, is more than just a legacy operation. Established in 1975, JBM has been a cornerstone of Jamaican industry and commerce, and it still plays a pivotal role in the symbiotic relationship between mining and agriculture.
There's a systematic way of dealing with mining, where from the onset there are methodologies that are done to ensure that there is a responsibility of miners in ensuring that there is resilience after mining has taken place. That's from the first tier. The second tier is actually the mining tier, where we actually have many minerals that are extracted from the earth that are essential in putting together things like fertilizers. Many people don't know this. They are actually minerals that are also essential for planting certain crops. So here we have the display indicating that to the public so that the public can be educated along that line. And then at the final tier, we actually have the repurposing, the reclamation and repurposing of bauxite lands, of mining lands, to actually benefit the agricultural sector. You might already know of things like greenhouses that have been put up on reclaimed land. We have many technologies that have been effected to actually make agriculture super resilient on mined-out property.
The Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited is a government-owned company with a business enterprise mandate. In addition to being the custodian of over 4,000 acres of government properties in St. Ann, JBM monitors the operations of Discovery Bauxite Partners, a mining operation based in Discovery Bay, St. Anne. The story of this public body is one of innovation, responsibility, and a deep commitment to the future of both mining and agriculture on the island.
Mining is from the earth, agriculture is from the earth. Mining community is here to support agriculture, and as much as is possible, we do want all who are interested in getting reclaimed lands, accessing repurposed bauxite assets, including lease spaces in our warehouses, to just reach out to us using our website www.jbm.gov.jm.
In the event of a natural disaster, the Jamaica Fire Brigade is ready to fire up the engine. The aim? To save lives, one of several government entities that are equipped and ready to tackle emergency situations. It's a goal for these hardworking men and women when disaster strikes.
We are in the best place we have ever been in our history in terms of our state of readiness. We have a full complement of just about 2,000 members.
During a natural disaster, the Jamaica Fire Brigade offers critical services, including search and rescue operations, evacuation support, fire suppression, and emergency medical supplies. They also coordinate with other agencies to ensure timely response and community safety.
Our firefighters are on standby.
The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is teaching people how to compost kitchen waste at home. By turning food scraps into nutrient-rich compost, you can reduce landfill waste and improve your garden soil. Let's take a look.
Compost is one of the richest forms of soil nutrient. So here we are buying fertilizer for huge sums of money, when in fact we are throwing away something which is richer in many regards than what we are buying, spending hard cash for. We, from time to time, do what we call garbage characterization survey. This is where we actually go island-wide and take samples of the garbage and look at what make up the garbage. All the surveys that are done in recent past points to one particular set of dynamic. The compostables are always the highest. 67% in some survey, 65% in some. We eat vegetables. We do ground provisions, the peelings from those. We use cardboards, newspapers, lots of stuff that can be broken down and can be put to good use. With such a high percentage of the solid waste being compostable, we are therefore forced to look at how we're going to manage in the best way possible, in the most efficient way possible, that high percentage of the garbage.
Composting is a rich form of soil that is broken down by microorganisms to become either fertilizer or soil. Now we're going to do a demonstration to show you how we can do it. First, if we're starting, this is our kitchen waste. So if you're starting a compost bin at home, You need to get your kitchen peel, your banana, your lettuce, your cabbage, your tomatoes, and you cut them in finer particles. It will make it break down much faster. In order for the microorganism to work effectively, you need moisture, you need air, and you need heat. You can use a hand shovel or your hands. Too much moisture will allow the stuff to rot and it won't be compost. And if it is too dry, the microorganisms won't be able to work effectively. So you need to get a right mixture. If you squeeze it with a fist, you shouldn't have any water running out of it. If it's dripping, it is okay. If it is running out of it, that means you have too much water. So now this is our compost. If you keep this moisture in your compost, it will give you a maturity rate of 3.5 months. And you'll get this final product, which is this right here. Compost, what it does, the longer it stays into the ground, is the richer it becomes. We're going to demonstrate how we use our compost for potting. We're going to pot a few plants using our compost. This plant is called spider fern. It is an indoor plant that does like a fair amount of water. It likes a light mixture. The composting can be used for indoor and outdoor plants. This plant is called a bougainvillea. It is an outdoor plant. It likes a lot of sunlight. It blooms a lot, and it likes dry areas. The compost is offer drainage. It doesn't keep the water too long. This is now 6 weeks old, and this is 3 weeks after being planted as a seedling using our compost. And this bougainvillea is 6 weeks after being planted by our compost, and they're just blooming, blooming, blooming. This is a mature spider fern that we use for our rentals, and this is about 2.5 months old.
The other benefit is that we at the NSWMA, we would need less trucks. Now, right now, our biggest problem is trucks to remove garbage. Can you imagine if we could take out the 67%, which we could convert at source? What that would do to our national budget? Gas oil, repairs of trucks, labor to work on the trucks. Just look at it. It is huge savings that could come. Exponential is about getting a behavioral change at source that will see significant reduction in solid waste. We want to see this reduction and to see it in a very tangible way. And we believe that composting provides that excellent opportunity.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. In the meantime, remember to visit our website, gis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.